Just wait while I sort this little technical glitch out. Sorry about that. Well, hello there. The more you look around you, the more you realise that we're being totally scammed. And the more you look about you, the more you realise it's being hidden from us. And basically, the establishment uniparty system is lying to us all. Could it be that they're in a massive hurry to complete their plans before we kick off? Now, I don't know where this is, but here we have the concerned citizen on X claiming that a load of young men are being shown by security into what looks like accommodation, saying, "In the middle of the night, busloads of migrants dropped off at their new luxury hotel, all clutching envelopes and dressed like uniformed military personnel, all military fighting-age men. This is deeply sinister. It's unreal." And the video that goes with it, just added in so you can see. The International. So I'm not sure when and exactly where this is. Now, some are claiming these are sports people going in for training or something, but they don't seem to have any sports gear with them, and they're all carrying similar envelopes. So I'm not quite sure what that's about, and if it's just people turning up for a training session, why all the security? What's all that about? Does seem very strange, doesn't it? Yeah. So what do you make of all of that then? But it gets worse. Here we have British intel showing us Hempstead House in Hemel Hempstead, which looks like some sort of secret migrant accommodation. British intel says, "A massive migrant housing block has been quietly built with zero public consultation and kept completely out of the public domain. Welcome to Hempstead House, a 5-storey, taxpayer-funded migrant complex the government never wanted you to know existed. No transparency, no local approval, no democratic process, just another secret project imposed on the British public. How many more of these hidden sites are being built behind our backs?" And that is a very, very good question. And here's the start of that particular video. I'm not going to show you all of it. It's 4 minutes long, and you need to go on their X site or on their X profile to see it. But this is the start, how it begins.
What's going on here? This is a processing centre, isn't it? This is a processing centre, isn't it? Why?
It's not allowed. It's not allowed.
Why is it not allowed? No one knows about this.
Yeah.
This isn't in the public domain, is it? This is being hidden. Have a look at the walls, fellas. See migrant help. Get that badge there.
The locals are not being told that.
Covering his badge.
Aiding and abetting migrants, migrants invaders.
Yeah. So you sort of look at that and you go, well, no one knew about that. A ruddy great building like that in Hemel Hempstead. And that security guard looks right out of his depth, doesn't he? And getting no help from his colleagues. It goes on and the filmmakers show you around the back and a few bits and pieces. As I say, you'll have to go onto their X page to see the whole vid. But then a police person turned up, seeming to not to know what was under. Here we go. She doesn't know what's under her hat, let alone what's under anything else or around her. Look at the state. I mean, she's sort of adjusting herself. What's she been doing? Just got out of bed or something, you'd think, wouldn't you? Oh, it's just ridiculous. This, and she didn't know what was going on. That was absolutely clear, and didn't seem bothered by any of this at all. So what if a ruddy great building like that's there in Hemel Hempstead? Now, if no one knew, that means the possibility of there being no planning permission, the same as the Bell Hotel in Epping. I would put forward the idea that these places are being told not to apply for planning permission to ensure locals don't get wind of it until it's too late. And that is a massive abuse of process. Now, we have a little guest. Richard was out and about. He's in his car somewhere, but he's just notified me he's in, so I'm going to add him to the stage. Let's see what he's got to say about all of this.
Hello there, Jeff.
Hello, Richard.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Yes, my middle daughter is down, so I just had to drop her off somewhere. Anyway, just looking at all this, I'm thinking, yes, you're quite right, Jeff. It just seems to be the boiling of the frog, the metaphorical boiling of the frog, as they say. They're turning the gas up underneath it right now, I'd say. And to be honest with you, I think they might be boiling the frog a little too fast, because we can see the mood of the nation, and more things are coming out. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the latest videos by Danny Tomo, and it does appear as if we don't know if this is true or not. This cannot be verified, but according to him and his experiences, there appear to be no smuggling gangs in France. That's it. The people are just turning up at the beach, finding their boat ready for them, and they're just hopping on board. Now, I don't know how true this is and what can be read into it, but if this is the case, something bloody sinister is taking place here, Jeff. And you're just showing that footage there of I can't remember the name of the place, wherever it was, and I thought, hang on a second, this is not normal. The plonking people who we don't know who they are, where they're from, unvetted. I mean, what's the point of having an effing passport system even? We have passports to get in and out of Britain. What's the point in them? Why?
Richard, the point of those is to control you and me and make sure that when we go through a port area, we can be stopped and searched and have to hand over our PIN number to our phone so they can track down your granny's movements or whatever it is. I don't know. But it's not about controlling these people. It's about us controlling us. And I'll just show you that Danny Tomo tweet, which he put out. Exposed. Migrants admit there are no gangs. They travel from Paris to Calais with NGO, non-governmental organisation help, not smuggling gangs, he says. And he's done a YouTube video about this. Exposed. Yes. Migrants admit there are no gangs. So that's well worth a watch, because he actually goes up to a group of them and asks them, so where's the gangs that traffic you? What gangs, basically? So you have to wonder, how are they getting through all these? They're being waved through things. They're being waved onto buses, how do they get here?
Jeff.
And all the rest of it. Yeah.
Jeff, you do have to ask yourself. I mean, for a long time, I thought a lot of these migrants who were crossing were clearly richer than me, had more disposable income than I do right now, which I thought was very interesting, but that's not the case. Apparently, and that makes sense. I mean, how can you expect people from other parts of the world to be able to, from very poor parts of the world, to be able to stump up thousands of pounds, sometimes tens of thousands of pounds? Something doesn't sit right, Jeff. Like, something is not right at all.
Well, I'll just take you back a couple of months. This story ties in with a video that I Am British highlighted or made back in August. And it was one that was sent to Andrew Bridgen, and he sent it out to various people. No one wanted to know. and I'll just play it again. I've played it before, but I'll play it again for you because you'll see exactly what I mean.
Tonight, I noticed there was...
Oh, stop it. I shall have to go back and remove that other one because it wouldn't come off. There we go. Now what I'll do is I'll play that one.
Tonight,
Come on, Jeff.
I noticed there was a whole batch. Yeah, hang on. I have to go back because there's someone coming. There was a whole batch of dinghies in the little area near the crane in the boatyard. Loads of them, all numbered. You'll have just seen that clip, hopefully. And I thought, okay, tomorrow the lorry's probably going to come. And guess what? There it is. There's the lorry. All right. So I'm going to go and wander over there and just see if it's the same truck. All right. Today we're going to try and follow it.
All the boats are loaded.
There it is.
Wonder where they're going.
The lorry is leaving. But that is the lorry. Basically, with all the dinghies on it. And if my idea is correct, that lorry is going to France. That's the lorry. Okay, so I'm going to prove it. Right, so that is getting on a ferry. Where to? That's the question, look. Okay, can you see the number plate? Ah, come on. RX68 YKA. All right, that's it. Boom. Okay, I'm inside. I saw the lorry. It was just the other side of that fence. I'm now going to drive round. Now, what is it doing? Hiding there. There it is. There it is. RX68. There's a driver in it, so he's going to see me doing this. And I don't care. There's the number plate. RX68 YKA. This lorry is getting on a ferry. So the dinghies come into Dover, they get loaded onto a truck, they go back to France.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about that? Says to me that there is a big scam going on and it's becoming clearer by the day. So I think Richard's having some difficulty. He keeps disappearing from the stage and coming back. I'm not quite sure. Oh, there's two of him. Are you there, Richard? No, he's not. I'll remove him. Yeah, okay. He seems to be having some technical difficulties of coming in and out. So there you go. Anyway, so there you go. That was I Am British. He highlighted that back in August. Nothing was ever said or done about it. It's just becoming apparent that this is just one big circular exercise, and it's got an on point at somewhere in the in Europe, and they go round this roundabout, they get off here, and then the machinery all goes back to the start again, picks up more people and comes back. And this is where our tax money is going. I would surmise this is where it's going. It's going on this whole carousel, this one-way carousel. It's not going round and round, it's just coming our way. So, yeah, it's not... yeah. So I'm not impressed with our governments at all. And it's not the Labour government, is it? It's not the Labour government. It's the uniparty establishment. Yeah, so they're all at it, every single one of them. And I think it's about time that it was a halt call to it, because people are not going to be very happy, are they, when this all starts coming out. As I said before, no planning permission for these places, because when you have planning permission granted, the council has to declare things on their website, put those notices up that you see around everywhere. When you go past and someone wants a swimming pool, they have to put a little notice up that notices on the street furniture, like the lamp posts. If you want to have an extension, you have to have that, so all your neighbours can go, I don't want that happening. But when it comes to these massive migrant processing places, or whatever you want to call them, suddenly there seems to be a deafening silence. That is an abuse of process. The whole idea of the planning system is we know and we can comment and have our say. If they're now saying, oh no, you can only do that when it applies to someone wanting a bit of extra roofing or to put a slopey garage roof for their car down the side of the house and all that sort of thing. Oh no, that's hyper important and we've got to look at that in minute detail. But not a huge, great migrant hotel. Says a lot about our masters, doesn't it? They don't care about us. They're not listening. They just take your money, do their own thing, and they're just out to destroy us, basically. So, yeah, as the DepZ says, the full video is on YouTube. Yeah, I think even the Twitter video where I screenshotted those from is only a small part of the full video. So the full thing will be on YouTube, which is yeah. Yes. As Louise Curley says, absolutely crime shame that as a 67-year-old, I'm more than happy being in my autumn days. Short end of the runway. Yeah, how should anyone have to feel that way when things are changing so fast and so much for the worse? Yeah. Yeah, pay your taxes, you got responsibilities. Yeah. What responsibilities? Responsibilities to the rest of the world. How about me? No, you're not a responsibility. You're just there to pay the money. Get back to work. Yeah. Now, I said on the title, when are we going to explode? Alan Hyde says, you won't explode because you're all weak. Actually, I think most of us are. Because we're just going to go, oh dear, let's just wait till tomorrow, see if it gets better, see if someone else has done something. At the end of the day, no one else is going to do anything. In fact, everyone else is just looking at us and taking the money. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're looking at us and taking the money, taking your freedom, taking everything, and laughing as they do it because we're weak. And if we're weak, under the rules of survival of the fittest, yeah, we're going to die out, aren't we, if we're weak? Yeah. Anyway, just want to say thank you, Lady Sophie Hugan Manor. Thank you for becoming a member. That's very nice of you. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you very much, JJ. Thank you very much for your contribution. And thank you, Tamanigi909. Thank you very much for your contribution. Jeff, your interview with Liam was brilliant. You should write a book. Cheers. Yeah, yeah, I haven't got time to write books. And thanks very much for saying that. Actually, Liam did a very good interview with Leo Kearse. It came out yesterday. The trouble is, as he put it out, I found out that there was a bit of a YouTube problem. It was having a few problems and some videos that didn't do so well. So go to Liam Tuff's page and watch the Leo Kearse interview. It's really, really good and really, really funny and really, really entertaining and really, really informative, because Liam and Leo were both in Israel at the same time, looking around, and they got a lot to say about that. Very good stuff. Anyway, enough about that. I'm just looking. Yeah, this is another thing. This is what I was trying to point out. I'm sick of this every bloody day. How come the security are always a certain demographic? That has stuck out like a sore thumb to me. In a majority white population, why are all the security guards not? And you have to ask yourself serious questions there. And did you see in that video the guy was trying to cover up his badge? Didn't want anyone to see it. Yeah. And you have to pass exams, I think, or go pass, at least you'd have to be vetted to have a badge like that, because it does carry a bit of responsibility. As Gino says, this isn't immigration, it's an invasion. Someone did say that if a load of people come into your country and you have to change to their way of life and do what they need to have done, then it is an invasion. That's what it is. Yeah. when they come in and integrate with you and obey your laws and make no demands, then that is not an invasion. You have to look at it in those terms. Now, this one's interesting. I think it comes from Milan, and I'll tell you why in a minute. This is, let me get the right. This is Kosher saying, where is the need? He's pointing to what someone is about to do in this video. Deliberately trying to provoke people, trying to celebrate Christmas. I wouldn't dare go into a Ramadan celebration and start singing jingle bells at the top of my lungs. I mean, okay, I'm Jewish, but I wouldn't sing Hava Najilia either. So he's making his point there. He's just wondering what this guy, who I'm just about to show you, is doing. Here we go.
What they are doing. وريهم. خير إن شاء الله. خليها تكميل ثم أروح إن شاء الله. I will go إن شاء الله recite some Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون. جزاكم الله خير. إخوة مسلمون.
أنا مسلم
الحمد لله. نحن في روم برودرز في ميلان نقرأ القرآن. We recite القرآن. الحمد لله.
Right, yes. I mean, would you go and interrupt what other people are doing just like that? And, you know, if that was, you know, in Britain and that had been a Christian preacher just sort of walking up, interrupted people doing what they were doing and saying and started preaching, you'd get arrested within minutes. But you know, now a lot of people might be wondering what this is about. I'll just show you.
I will go, inshallah, recite some.
If I can get this back onto the stage. Where he's twirling his heel into the floor. Does it 3 times. Now, that actually is Milan, I believe. And what they're doing is spinning their heels 3 times on the nether regions of a bull, which is on the Turin coat of arms. So they spin their heel on its bits on the coat of arms for good luck. The trouble is, as you saw, it massively damages the mosaic where the bull thingy is. It just gradually grinds in, gets rid of the mosaic, goes into the earth underneath or whatever it is underneath. So, but that's what that was about. But someone had to come along and get in the way and stand over it and start doing their thing. You'd think they were trying to make a point or prove some sort of supremacy or something, wouldn't you? But there you go. Yes. Judah Manny says, I suggest you check what comes to you through containers, imports, through private flights and through ferries and yachts. Start pushing back, otherwise next Christmas you'll have to go to the mosque. Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? It's not just boats that are being used. It's cars, containers, lorries, everything, you know, fishing vessels, yachts, the lot. Pay enough money and you'll get in. Aircraft, yeah, and it's getting quite ridiculous, really. In fact, at one stage, I don't even remember, Boris Johnson was talking about, oh, let's have an amnesty. Never happened, and it's not going to happen now. You can't have an amnesty because so many people are in this country that it would become apparent to everybody overnight when suddenly we had an extra 2 million people plus in the country. So, yeah. Yes. And this is another way of looking at it. Not Gadot says, I think Britain doesn't want to wake up. Yeah, we're too scared. We're too scared of what might happen. What happens if we did wake up one day and it was all as bad as that? Why don't we just all go to sleep, stay in La La Land, ignore it, and I might die before anything goes wrong? And that's not the right attitude. But, yeah. Yeah, the lorry, says Sir Sid Snot Esquire. Lorry owned by GXO Logistics, owned by BlackRock. Yeah, that's what that's what Andrew Bridgen said at the time when that video came out. So yeah, it's yeah, that is a very old video. August, massively old. Yeah. Yeah. Welder Rady says, survival of the fittest. In these times where food is expensive, it's going to be a survival of the fattest. I don't think it will be, actually, because the plans they have for our agriculture and our food supplies going forward will enforce a sort of slimness on us so that we can all be fit and healthy workers forever until we fall over. Yes. Yeah, someone said they watched it. It was awesome. I'm assuming you're talking about that first video or the second video. Thank you, Lady Sophie Hugan Manor. You're welcome, Jeff and Richard. Awesome channel, voices of common sense and reason. Except when Richard's on the road and he can't get a signal in his car. I did tell him not to bother, but there you go. Now, the next little snippet I've got is from Ahmed Yaqub, you know, the solicitor who's, I think he was helping some people in Manchester or something at one stage or another. Well, he's come up, and after what the Home Secretary has been talking about, cracking down on everybody, on immigration and asylum seekers and all the rest of it, although I would surmise that most of that is just fluff, window dressing and all the rest of it. By the time it all comes out, they'll have built in, because it's got to go through loads of processes. It's got to go through consultations. I wonder who they'll consult with when these rules come up. Do you think it'll be like the Islamophobia definition, where they tried to secretly give it to only a few selected people who'd give the right answers? What'll happen when it comes out of this? They'll say, well, we listened to the people and they said, we've got to let them all in, basically, and we've got to give them lots of money. So all those rules will stand, except there'll be so many exceptions, so many get-out clauses, so many loopholes that nothing will change. That's what I reckon will happen. Anyway, Ahmed Yaqub said, we support migrants. Yes, everybody seems to support migrants. Pity no one wants to support Britain and the British, isn't it? But there you go. That's just... Is that just me being hard-hearted and all that sort of thing? Anyway, he went on, and there's a video of him and a couple of other people. And this is what they said, which, yeah, just watch.
You should know, as a human being, you cannot sit high enough to look down on any human being, and especially the migrant community. We will stand with the migrant community as we are the sons of migrants.
And more importantly, we will stand with every and any community within the city of Birmingham. We are advocates for all communities, regardless of what their beliefs are, their morals are. Shabana Mahmood, who is a daughter of a migrant, should be ashamed of herself that she's putting draconian laws on people who are just coming to England to make a better life, like our forefathers did, like your forefathers did.
We're going to get rid of Labour, remember that.
So they don't care about their values or their morals. They'll just join in with them. And they came to England, you notice. England specifically was mentioned. And it's all about them, isn't it? We want to just make a better life. But what I'm seeing is that, you know, we want to determine who comes into our country. We want to determine, not them, we want to determine who comes here. We want to determine if they have values and morals, not you saying, Doesn't matter what values or morals they've got, because that's what he said. No, what we want to do is have people with values and morals that chime with ours so that we can seamlessly slot in. I don't care about their colour, their creed or whatever else of it, as long as they slot in, obey the law, don't try and overturn us, don't try and change everything. And so when people say things like that, it's trying to drag the argument back onto their turf. We're in charge. We're the ones who dictate. You just do as you're told. You listen. We talk. That's what this is all about. This is one-way traffic, one-way cultural traffic. Then he talks about, what was it, communities. We used to have a community. It was called a British community. Since about, I don't know, 40, 50 years ago, it's been torn apart and torn into pieces and scattered around the country. And that's not right either. We need to be one cohesive unit again. We're heading towards a situation where one group of people will be turning around to us and saying, we demand a two-state solution to this problem. And it will be a problem as well. So, yeah, I'm just getting a bit too angry about all of this. So, so when I saw this next one come up, I was thinking, where is this going to end? Where is this going to end? Because Basil the Great put this up on X. So find his Basil the Great. Here we go. Muslim says England flag must be replaced as Christian cross is offensive. He says we need to replace the St. George's cross with a white flag that just says England. Well, I'm afraid to say that would offend a lot of people anyway, especially if it was a white flag. So I don't even believe that bit would ever be agreed to. Time for deportations make England Christian again. Now, what he's on about is this this guy here. Just listen to how he frames this.
We're not going anywhere. This is our country. We are here to stay. We are settlers. And also, I would like to point out that some people said, what about the crucifix on the English flag? And it's Crusader history. Well, I responded, if you place a white flag with just England written on that flag, there is no reason in Sharia Islamic law why that would be forbidden. So you are permitted to place a white flag with England written on it without the crucifix.
Whew. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this is the sort of thing. I know, yeah, it's one guy out of 60 million, blah, blah, blah. But it's still there, isn't it? If I started spouting on in another country about, you know, if I went to America and said, what's all this stars and stripes lark? You know, how far do you think I'd get? Wouldn't get very far at all. But these people are, you know, the great and good are listening to these people. They would love to change the flag. The only people who are protecting the flags of the UK are the people of the UK, the ordinary people, the settled populations, and generally the ones that have been around, whose families have been around for quite a while in Britain, especially in England. So, yeah, I just find it offensive when people start talking like that. Oh, I'm coming to your country to have a much better life and you will obey me. How does that work? How does that work? And it's this Sharia law thing. It's just totally ingrained, isn't it? How can we ever convince them that to live by British law if everything has to be following their own religion and their own religious laws? I mean, how can that ever happen? How can they ever slot in and be part of something if they detest it so much that they measure everything against what they believe? And they came here to improve themselves. Yes. Yes. There's a lot of this is someone said we paid for their badge courses as well. I'm supposedly I hope you're referring to that badge that the guy was wearing and he covered it up, his was it Security Industries Authorization Badge or whatever it's called, SIA. I wonder, you just wonder, I mean, where do some of these people come from? Are they just given the badges? Do they pass it when they get on a boat, come across, stay here for a few months, and then become employed as an SIA? I don't know. It just all stinks, doesn't it? The whole thing. Yeah, World War Z. Yeah. And illegals securing illegals. That's a good question. Yeah, Danny Tomo's doing a good job over in France. And I think it won't be long. They'll probably deport him. The last thing they want is him getting us over there to help them stop the boats, which could well be the only way of doing it at this rate, because no one else wants to stop them. No one wants them. What gets me as well is the countries they're actually coming from. If they are such a great boon to us, why are the countries they're coming from not trying to keep them there to rebuild their country? Why aren't they there doing the deliveries? Why aren't they there doing all these wonderful things in the country? Why is their originating country just letting them wander out? All that great experience, all those doctors and nurses just walking out of the country. Why aren't they trying to keep them there? Raise their pay, all the usual things. Yes. Yes. Anyway, now I'm going to do something slightly different. We've been talking about AI for quite a bit, haven't we? And I just thought, now, if Richard's watching this, he's going to have a heart attack. But I did change the music to a YouTube accepted piece of music, so there will be no copyright strike when I play the music, okay? Because it's a bit silly on its own. It has to have background music to it. This is what Elon Musk put out about his robot project, his AI robot project. Now, that one is quite eye-opening in some ways. The robots, presumably that was AI generated, but the robot, that's the dream, isn't it? That's his dream. Police robots, AI robots, and AI robots walking along a beach using an AI communications device to film themselves using an AI cinematic setup to put up on an AI YouTube or X profile. Now that struck me as sort of quite AI doing everything, absolutely everything that humans would do, but doing it themselves. Is that our future? Gradually AI cooking for itself, AI it'll come along and, you're having a heart attack in the street. It'll mend you and get you up and on your way. But why? Where would we be by then? We wouldn't have jobs because AI is doing it all, as you could see there. That's the dream. It's going to be doing everything. What are we going to be doing? We're going to be productively sat on our fat arises, aren't we? I don't know. I just don't know where we're going with all of this. Richard's got the answer on all of that, or at least he thinks he does. So, yeah. Right. Back to reality. Big Lins 39 says, back in 2007, up to 11,000 individuals without the right to work in the UK had been granted SIA licenses. So are they still doing it? I didn't know that. Wouldn't even know where to start looking for stuff like that. If that's the case, then people working without licenses, people housing people without planning permission, What else are they doing? What else aren't they telling us? And this is the whole thing. They're just lying to us comprehensively, lying by omission most of the time, keeping their lips shut, going into Parliament, saying a few things, and then all the rest of it gets pushed through in committee stages and via the civil service and all the rest of it. What aren't they telling us? It's just absolutely... Yeah, and Tefino says, NGOs behind all of this in Dover and France. I said for years there was no smuggling gangs. Danny Tomo just confirmed. At least he's doing something constructive. Absolutely, yeah, he's doing a good job pushing on out there and just showing everybody these people can just wander around at will. This is the new world. This is the world they envisage. That someone anywhere can just walk into another country and must be given everything in order to function in that country. Even if they can't work, they have to get that local community, wherever it is, because there won't be countries anymore, because there'll be no borders. If you walk in and there's a big rich city that's built itself up and been very prosperous, everyone else can turn up and demand a slice of the pie. And what do you think is going to happen to that city? Well, all the productive people will move to another city or build another one somewhere else. The people will then follow them. So everybody gets everything. And we're all equal, aren't we? Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster. We'll just end up with a class of people who want to get out and do things, travelling around, trying to make their own area, which is successful. It's like a club. You know, countries are really a club. A country is a club of people who are together. They're brought up together. They sort of go along the same club rules. They generally do as they are told within the club. But everyone else is now demanding to get into that club. No, you can't have your own club anymore. Wherever you go and make a club, we will be there to stop it. We'll be there to bring you down. So no one's going to aspire to do anything because there'll be a group of people trying to do that and a group of people trying to tear it down, follow it around, scam it, take everything it's got. And that's the sort of world these WEF types seem to want us to live in. Why can't we just have our own countries competing? Because as countries compete, they will get better. If you don't compete in that way, you're not going to get better. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Oh dear. Right, I'm off, starting to look like I'm reading repetitive spam here. Take care, at Jeff Taylor. Well, okay, if that's how you feel. Goodbye. Yeah. Yes, I wouldn't go as far as that, Craig Mawson. But yeah, he did. I don't think he followed through on that particular case, did he? I don't know why. That's obviously between him and his yeah. This, Jeff, the protests were outside the Britannia International Hotel, London, in July of this year. Yeah, that's what I remember. But I don't know when that film was taken. Maybe it was before or after that, but it came out just today. And thank you, Ms. Mars. So, ain't the cross on our flag represent the blood of enemies which our ancestral soldiers painted on their shields in battle back in the day as a cross? No wonder they don't like it. I don't know. Is that the truth? Is that what they did? You know, that's the sort of thing that everybody did, wasn't it? War paint and, using blood in war paint and stuff like that. I don't know. Everybody. These are the things that people used to do. These are the things people used to do. It's no good blaming people today for what people used to do. Otherwise, we'd be, a sackcloth and ashes and self-flagellation from minute to minute, every single day of every single year. We've got to get on with our lives. Yeah. And Welder 80 says, those who support migrants do so until they're asked to house them. Yeah, as was shown by that Green co-leader just recently. Supports them but doesn't want them in a camp in a constituency or something like that. Yes. Yes, Enoch Powell has come up a couple of times in the comments section. Yeah. Now, one of the things is that the whole idea of refugee status and that sort of thing was that you come here for safety during a war and then you return home. That's the idea. But this has now turned into a migration industry. People, excuse me, I've still got this cough. People come here for a short, and then it's just here forever. And you do have to question. It should be made quite clear to them. You're here temporarily. You are here temporarily. This isn't a permanent thing. But they just stay, and no one ever bothers, or they get ruled that they have to stay. So who's rebuilding their country? Where does their loyalty lie if they're not prepared to rebuild their country? If they're not prepared to rebuild the country that they were brought up in, would they want to rebuild ours or fight for ours? Who knows? Are those legitimate questions to ask? Yeah. Yeah. Going back to talking about getting people thin, I sort of said that Harris comes back and say, waste of time making us thin as there will never be enough jobs. Yeah, with AI, will there be enough jobs? I don't know. Will there be a resurgence of people wanting to watch real people in real time do real things? I think that may become a thing. AI will be proceeding in life at 1,000,000 miles an hour. We won't be able to keep up. So where will its thought processes take it while it's dealing with us at a snail's pace, and it's trying to go at the speed of light? I just wonder about how this sort of will play out. Will we have implants that make us think at the speed of light? I could do with some of that sometimes. Anyway, the one thing that I did see was from Ricky Gervais. This came up at the beginning. Somehow it snuck through and stayed up while I was trying to start the stream. But he's come out with a new advert. For those who don't know, Ricky Gervais has been trying to come out with some adverts that open eyes and do all sorts of things. But London Transport doesn't like it very much because they're, he was the one who came out with that one. If you're visiting London, don't forget your stab vest, that sort of thing. Anyway, he's got a simple message for us now, and it's this one. Oh, here we go again. This one won't drop off now. So go back. And there we go. At last, a billboard that no one could find offensive. Gonna get these up all over London. And all it says is Merry Christmas. So there you go. That's his message to us all. Merry Christmas. Now, how many people are going to find that offensive in London on the Underground? Yeah, brilliant. So that's... Yeah. Oh, I've got to say, the Daztec says, stupid people believe in fairy tales. Yes, there's a fairy tale out there, all right, that one day there was nothing. And then suddenly a big bang happened. Is that a fairy tale? Anyway. Yeah, the crime rate speaks for itself, says Janet Devereaux. That's a good point. You look at the crime rates. The thing is, believe it or not, the London murder rate's coming down. I can't understand why, because everything else seems to be going up as far as I can see, but the murder rate itself is coming down. And then you could say that, lots of white people have left London and the murder rate's gone down. Although I don't think that quite equates to it, because it hasn't gone up everywhere else because of that. No, it's these things. I think people have just got the low-level crime is what really worries most people. Anyway, yeah. As Mark Lee Chapman says, we're all very angry and bloody boiling over. This evil has gone on too long and too far. It has really, hasn't it? It's It's got to the position now where we just feel ignored. We're almost, it's just go and sit in that room over there, do your work, don't say anything. You have no aspirations, you don't matter. We have plans for the universe, you don't factor in them other than working and paying taxes. What you want doesn't matter. We're going to find out in a few days' time on November the 26th when Rachel Reeves stands up in the House of Commons and starts reeling off her magnificent economic and financial and tax plan for the UK into the future. And it's not going to be pretty. They are not going to cut any spending meaningfully. The only thing they're going to cut is the fact that they're not going to increase defence. They're not going to do it because it's just too expensive and too difficult. Far easier to spend the money around the world hoping, therefore, that no one will invade us. Although at the moment, they seem to be getting that comprehensively wrong, don't they? Don't you think? Yeah, stiff upper lip and soft something. That's where we're at the moment. Actually, we're not even at stiff upper lip level, are we? We're at jaw-dropping stage. You know, we got to that point. It's quite funny. I've been into politics for a long time, and it always engages me. I prefer doing that. Then the other day, I sat in front of my computer, and this piece of football came up, and I sat there and went, no thinking required. Just watch. Just be entertained. Let it all run away. Just let it all wash away. Then just get on with your little life. Don't let the big things bother you anymore. And I thought that's how they get us, isn't it? Bread and circuses, lots of sport, lots of stuff. Yeah. And I could feel it. That's the first time in my life I've ever felt that release through watching something that took no effort on my part and no time other than to watch it. I didn't have to think about it. I just had to experience it. And that was all. Nothing else from me at all. And that's a big stopper for us as well. Yeah, I think this SIA system needs to be investigated. I wonder if there's a central list which we can all check. Yeah, sure. Yeah, British people will have nowhere to hide. They will keep wanting handouts. There are no places. Why do you think they're bringing in all this digital ID and making sure everybody's money is accounted for? Because they're going to take it off of you, and that's how they're going to do it. Happy Friday, cousins. Happy Friday too to you. Yeah, young Bob, he's doing some good work and was treated very badly by the nutty left. Yeah. And that's the problem, isn't it? If you don't agree with them, they will come after you. Be in no doubt. They will use anything they can to come after you. And it's about time we started playing their game. Yeah, stop paying tax and prepare. Yeah, that's where we're at now, I'm afraid. Yes. Anyway, I think I've got to the end. I've just seen so much, from these videos. There's loads of other stuff I could have put up, and some of it may be a bit old, but it's well worth remembering some of this, because I'll tell you something. I was looking back after I went on Liam Tuff's interview. He was asking me why I supported Tommy, and I went back to the days of the EDL, and I thought, actually, I'm just going to go back on YouTube and have a look at those years back in 2005. People were angry back then about these things, and nothing has changed for us, nothing at all. In fact, it's got worse. No one was listening back in 2005 to 2010, and they're not listening now. And that should send alarm bells out. You should make your blood run cold when you think about it. I was looking at the the way that when we were celebrating our dead, well, not celebrating, we're respecting our dead when they came back from places like Afghanistan through various places, and and then some Islamists decided they were going to do their part on it and and do the same for theirs. I was thinking, this is the UK, and people got really angry about it, really did. So, but nothing happened, nothing changed. The police just came out, did the usual, and that was the end of it. And that's how it's going to keep going. We need to vote differently and act differently, and we need to make our feelings known much more than we do. Much more. Anyway, I'm hoping you're all going to have a magnificent weekend and go out there. And there is a lot of sport on to take your minds off a lot of things this weekend. And I'm just hoping you spare enough time to think about the state of the country, the state of our Christian heritage, or whatever you want to call it, and what's happening to us. And don't be taken in by any of the lies of the government. None of it. And when Rachel Reeves stands up in the House of Commons to make her speech about the economy, you prepare yourself. She'll come out with a load of good news. And then for the next 3 days, it will drip out. All the bad news will be dripping out like acid. And it won't be pretty. So there you go. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I have. So all I'm going to say is that I'm looking forward to a couple of days of rest, although what Richard said earlier was I think he wants us to work this weekend as well. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, I hope you have a good afternoon, and I'll just say it's goodbye from me, and thank you for watching.